Hi, this is Lara at Elliott Wave Forex with your free US dollar index Elliott Wave analysis for the trading session dated Wednesday, 7th of July. Starting out with a quick look at a historical chart going back to 1985. This chart's a little bit old and we've had some further rises above this point off to the right of the chart here since it was done. However, it will suffice for historical purposes. We had a 5 waves down at cycle degree in 1992 ending here, followed by a zigzag ABC for cycle degree wave A to finish here, followed by an ABC zigzag for cycle degree wave B to finish early 2008, and now we're in a cycle degree wave C to the upside, which is going to be a 5 wave impulse. We've already had 1, 2, possibly we're still working on the end of wave 3, and then we'll have 4 and 5 primary to finish wave C at cycle degree, which should reach comfortably above the end of cycle degree wave A back here in early 2001, because this is an expanded flat correction. We know it's a flat correction because A is broken down to a 3-wave structure. B obviously has to be broken into a 3-wave structure, and this looks like a pretty good one. It's really nicely contained in its own trend channel drawn using Elliott's channeling technique. First a trend line from the beginning of A to the end of B, and a parallel copy placed on the end of A with a very obvious breakout to the upside tells us that this wave B at cycle degree was over and the next wave in the sequence, C follows B, is underway. Expanded flats have a B wave that reaches beyond the start of A and usually call for a C wave that is a long strong wave and reaches significantly beyond the end of wave A, hence the word expanded. So our target at cycle degree for wave C lies about 141.08, quite a lot further up to go yet, and it'll be achieved in a 5-wave impulse at primary degree. So taking you now to my first daily chart, much more updated than this, we were going to look at what's happened since this point down here, wave 2 maroon. At primary degree is down here, and here's our more recent dollar rises, and here's wave 3 at primary degree, the early stages, with a 1, 2, 3, 4 possibly, 4 not quite finished, a little bit further to go. When that's done, we'll have another wave at intermediate degree, a 5th wave up to end primary wave 3. I do have an alternative interpretation that says it's got further to go up, which seems a little bit more likely possibly. Wave behaviour will tell us. It looks like wave C blue is trying to reach equality with wave A blue, which will take the dollar down to 82.71. So that's my target. That's how I've worked that one out. Really simple. It's really nicely contained in its little trend channel, drawn again using Elliott's technique. From the start of A to the end of B, a parallel copy placed on the end of A. Nicely contains this downward zigzag, which may very well come to end lying on this lower black trend line. Most importantly, when we have a breach to the upside with a full daily bar opening and closing above this parallel channel, then we have our final indication or confirmation that the downwards trend for the moment is over and we're in an upwards trend that's going to take some time and should move above this point to make a new high for the dollar. I'm just going to because wave 4 should not move into wave 1. Here's our invalidation point for this wave count, 82.20. Just going to show you now my alternative daily count for this piece of movement is slightly relabeled. Everything below here is exactly the same. So we've still got our 5 waves up for intermediate 1, also really nicely contained in a trend channel. Little ABC down for intermediate 2. A minor wave 1 and quite a deep correction developing for wave 2 at minor degree. If this interpretation on the daily chart is correct, when the downwards momentum is over, and it should be over fairly soon, when that's over, the dollar should begin to start on a series of very, very strong rises, because it would be a 3rd wave at minor degree, within a 3rd wave at intermediate degree, within a 3rd wave at primary degree, which calls for some very strong price movement, strongly up. So wave behaviour in the next couple of weeks or so will give us a really strong indication if this interpretation here or my previous interpretation I just showed you is correct. I have the same target for our downwards movement, 82.71, for C to reach equality with A. This wave count has a slightly different invalidation point. 2 cannot move beyond the start of 1. 80.06 is its invalidation point. I'm going to take you now to the hourly chart for the last 10 days, where this A, B and C is an A off to the left of the chart, this B blue and C would be at the end of this. So here's our most recent dollar movement, and looking at these recent falls, some further downwards movement invalidated my previous wave count. Like I said, it looks like the C wave, whatever degree we want to label it, is extending further to reach equality with A, which is a really common relationship between them. The ratio between 3 pink and wave 1 pink here, I can find no adequate Fibonacci relationship between those two. If wave 5 pink reaches equality with wave 3 pink, we have a target of 82.71 to the downside, which, interestingly enough, is identical to the target I've worked out at 1 wave degree higher for C blue to reach equality with A. 82.71 therefore is a pretty good, strong downside target. Within wave 3 pink, wave 1 green up here is just 0.06 short of 0.382, the length of this wave 3 green. Wave 1 is 0.5 and wave 5 is 0.62, so they're 0.12 difference, which is a little bit too much considering the smallness of these waves to consider that they're trying for equality. Well, they're failing to reach it by 0.12, quite significant. Within wave 5 pink, wave 1 green at 0.99 and wave 2 green up here starting at 84.39, if wave 3 green reaches 1.618, the length of wave 1, which is a fairly reasonable Elliott wave ratio target, we would expect the dollar to get down to about 82.77, at which stage it will be due for a correction to the upside in a fourth wave that cannot move into wave 1 price territory. So some further downwards movement towards that target, 82.77, and we can move the invalidation point from here down to here, the end of wave 1 green, at 83.82. When it's finished that fourth wave correction, one final push to the downside should see it get pretty close to that target of 82.71 for the end of this whole downwards movement. So there's my analysis for the dollar for today. I hope that's useful in your trading, and if you would like analysis of the euro and or the pound in depth, you'll find it on my site. Go to the big fat green subscribe button. Have a fabulous day.